brown butter heath cookies are so good. I'm not gonna lie, I found this recipe today on the internet and this is my first time trying it, but let me tell you, they were the bomb. So I'm gonna start by browning my butter. For any of you who are not used to browning butter, I just like to cut mine into smaller pieces. I have 2 sticks of unsalted butter here and I have it on medium heat. We're just going to let that butter melt, and I like to use a silicone spatula to scrape the sides of the pan just to make sure it's not sticking or burning. You're going to get this foamy white stuff on top of it. Don't worry or panic, that is completely normal. You'll know your butter is browned when it has a nutty smell and it's going to start sizzling and crackling a lot, and then you'll know it's done when it looks like this. You'll want to put it in a larger bowl immediately so it doesn't get any more brown from the pan, because that pan is very hot. And then you're going to add brown sugar, granulated sugar, and we're just going to mix that in. Next we have some vanilla. I don't measure my vanilla, you should not either. And then 2 eggs. We're just going to mix those in until the yolks are broken up and everything is completely combined. Next, I'm going to add in some leavening agents: baking powder, baking soda, cornstarch, and salt. Now we're going to add in some flour. Make sure you add that gradually, because if you add it all at once, it's going to be really hard to mix in. And now for our add-ins, we have 1 cup of milk chocolate toffee bits. You can use whatever brand you want, but these are Heath cookies, so I use Heath brand because they're just so good. On a parchment paper lined baking sheet, you're going to want to scoop 1.5 tablespoons of cookie dough. I just used a 1 tablespoon cookie scoop and overfilled it, and I like to roll them into balls just so they're prettier. I found that 10 minutes worked best for these cookies because I take them out when they still look a little bit gooey in the middle, and I let them cool off completely on the pan, and then they end up being a really soft and chewy cookie. For any of you who are wondering why the pan on the left only has 1 cookie on it, well, that's because 5 of those cookies are missing. My family has already dug into these and they are so good. I know I've said these cookies are so good like 3 or 4 times in this video, but that's because it's true. We just love them so much. This is the first time I've ever made this recipe and I highly recommend it. 10 out of 10, so good. For about the 5th or 6th time. Yeah, you know, if you know, you know.